Hello, fabulous Sagittarius. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of April 2014, Love Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. Well, this month, I promised you some very strong karmic experiences where it comes to love, and the universe is going to deliver. But before I begin, I do want to say that next month is a new moon in your opposite sign. And I do believe that with all the developments taking place this month, as important as they are really about setting the stage on an energetic level, on a karmic level, for you to experience a fresh start next month. So if you can use this time well to get in touch with your emotions, to allow yourself to experience what you need to, that is going to set you up very nicely for a bold beginning happening then. And I'll be here to talk about it then. So coming back to this moment, coming back to this month, at the end of this month, we have a very important solar eclipse taking place. And the month also begins with you carrying the energy of a very potent new moon. You add these two elements together, and it does suggest that a lot of things are shifting for you where it comes to love and your understanding of love. On the one hand, you're having this very important new moon at the beginning of the month. So at the very end of last month, you're carrying this energy in. It's asking you to flirt. It's asking you to treat love lightly. It's asking you to consider, do I have fun with this person? And if I don't, how is my life going to be? How long can I stay on this ride if it's not one that is fun? And you've been learning about yourself in that process. You've been learning to be light and not take things so seriously. And that really is when you're at your best, when you understand that it is just life, and the universe has been asking you to look at the fact that it is just love. We get you to the end of the month, and this is what I find really fascinating. It is the fact that while you're continuing that conversation, you do have Mercury then moving into the part of the sky that does have to do with flirtation, Mercury being the ruling planet of your opposite sign. So with Mercury moving through that part of the sky, you're having flirty interactions. You're likely doing some things on the internet as well, interacting with people, text messaging, all that kind of thing as part of your flirtation, which should be a lot of fun for you. While all that is happening, at the end of the month, what I find really interesting is we've got this solar eclipse taking place. Now, while the solar eclipse itself is taking place in a part of the sky that has to do with work, this solar eclipse is hitting off the parts of the sky that have to do with karma for you, that have to do with emotion, that have to do with soulmate connections, that have to do with experiencing another person or experiencing life on very deep levels, on levels of connection that can be described as cosmic or energetic, that can be described as source experiences. And very often, if not almost always, a lot of these experiences do involve other people. I do think that the likelihood of you sort of having an understanding as you go about your day, and really considering that this particular solar eclipse is taking place in a part of the sky that has to do with sort of what you do going about your day to handle your business. It's what you do in the workplace. It's what you do to take care of your health and the little things you do every day. As part of this sort of going about your business, doing your thing, the likelihood of you having an experience with another person that really reaches very deep levels of you in ways that maybe you can't put into words is very strong. However, I do think that you figure it out, if you will. And mostly what I'm seeing is with Mercury spending most of the month in the part of the sky that has to do with flirtation, it kind of sets the stage for you thinking that you have all the answers, you know what it is, you know what you're going for, and feeling like there's a spirit of fun. And then you get to the end of the month and the energy starts to shift dramatically so, and you realize that the type of connection you want isn't something that can be captured in words. It isn't something that's just about having that light exchange or having somebody that you can text with back and forth and having those experiences, but it is about something that reaches much deeper within you. It is about something that you can feel, and you either feel it or you don't. And I think that this is going to be the moment when, and this is really going to be the moment that sets you up for next month with the new moon happening in your opposite sign. But I do think that there's a very strong likelihood that if you are sort of a person who's had somebody in your sphere, or you're single and you've been interacting with people and being part of this process of communicating about love and flirting and trying to figure out attraction and things like that, it does look like by the time we get you to the end of the month, you realize that a lot of that stuff is not as important as what you feel. And I do think that, considering that a lot of this energy, as much as this is a new moon, the parts of the chart that are being touched on for you, there is a part of it that has to do with endings. And I do think the likelihood of you realizing that, you know what, that's not really a road I want to go down, that's not really something that's working for me, is actually pretty strong. The likelihood of you having the type of connections with other people that maybe on the surface seem to start out great and are very much on a level of mind and very much on a level of wit even as well, I think that you are going to be led towards having an understanding that it's all well and good to have that connection, but energetically, if it's not there, it's not there. And that it matters to be in the presence of another person. And so clearly, one way that this could play out is by meeting somebody online, or if you've already met somebody online, you're interacting with them. Now, if you have somebody in your sphere and you've been interacting with them for a while, I think the shift that you feel is going to be very important. Now, for some of you out there, I think for the majority of you, I think there's going to be this understanding, and I mean the majority of you who are in some sort of alliance, where maybe you don't know this person quite well, or you're just getting to know them, or you only know them from online. I think the likelihood of you saying, you know what, I need to start fresh because I need to feel that energetic connection, and I don't think that's here, is very likely. However, there is going to be a percentage of you out there who is going to find that not necessarily that it's just about you may have a strong mental connection, but I think the likelihood of you realizing that you had one perception, but this is now the reality is something very different, and you like it a lot more, is also a possibility as well. But I think a much more likely scenario is a fresh beginning. Is you kind of saying, okay, I'm going to go another way as I prepare for this next new moon. Because a part of us already knows, I was thinking about this earlier today, that, all of us on the planet are students of astrology. It's just that some of us are more conscious of it than others. And that's really it. All of us are learning, all of us are students of astrology. Now, I do think that as I look at the sky for you, it is almost like that part of you inside, whether or not you understand the symbols, whether or not you are familiar with astrological language or consider yourself a student, I do think that a part of you inside is going to realize that you're actually building towards a bigger beginning or a bigger sort of moment than the one that you are currently in. Those of you who are in an attachment, I think it's likely to go a little bit differently. It doesn't look like your relationship so much is affected or your status so much is affected. I do think that you're going to be thinking about how this person and the importance of integrating this person more into your daily life. And so this could be an understanding that maybe you haven't been actively spending as much time together doing the things that you need to foster the connection you already have. And this brings about the understanding that actually it's the little things that you do every day that creates the greatest commitment and the greatest bond. Be open to all this learning, be open to the whole process, because it does look like love is going to teach you a lot, as it always does. But love is going to teach you. It's not just about what you understand on a level of mind. It's not just about what you think. It's not just about talking to this other person and feeling like you've got a great friend. While as awesome as that is, you've also got to feel that you can be with this person, that there is some spiritual learning happening here. This person has to resonate with you on a level of soul. Those of you who have it are going to deepen that appreciation and want more of it. And those of you that don't are going to have the faith that you will. Thank you for watching. It'll be a great month. Be fabulous and enjoy.